Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone. Viewers, I'm DK Gupta from DNB Interiors. The modular furniture concept has really come from European countries. The best furniture manufacturer is Italy. High-grade furniture manufacturer is Germany because of their finishes and their perfection. If we talk about the modular furniture used in India, it is way different from the European countries, except maybe 0.5%, which is almost the same what we are using in Europe. Why it is so? Because the design of modular furniture in Europe is based on the pre-designed house, pre-designed kitchen, pre-designed sizes of the rooms, pre-designed structure. When we say about the structure, means where the beam has to come, where the pillar has to come, what is the size of the room generally used based on the double bed size. Kitchen design is based on a normal working conditions of the European kitchens, whereas India is designed based on the size available with us. Why I am saying so, size available with us? 2-bedroom flat here with one drawing room, maybe 645 square feet of the total area. Whereas in Europe you may find that 645 square feet is the area of their drawing room or living room or dining room or even the bedroom. You cannot compare the modular furniture concept in Europe versus India. Now when I said in the beginning that 0.5% of the modular furniture may be the same as of Europe, because those people are rich, they don't have the space constraint, they don't have the money constraint. Whereas in normal conditions for middle class families, they want to have everything with a small size of the house. As I was talking, 2-bedroom flat can be 645 square feet, it can be 1800 square feet, it can be 2300 square feet. The moment you go for 3-bedroom sets, it can be say 1200 square feet, it can be 2500 square feet, it can be 3500 square feet. But even if you divide the total area of 1200 or 3500 square feet of area, 3-bedroom, 2-bedroom with 3 toilets, 2 toilets and the kitchen and dining area, still our kitchen area or storage area will not be that large. What is with the smaller size in European countries? So their designs of modules, their way of storing the material, their requirement is almost the constant, whereas here it is different. Why I am saying so? I'll start with the example of a kitchen. Say for a kitchen, an Indian kitchen requires grain trolley, it requires PVC cutlery tray, it requires the bottle pull-out, it requires the pantry unit, it requires the appliances unit, it requires a large size of sink because they have to wash the utensils, they have to drain out the utensils, so they require either the double bowl sink or a single bowl sink with a drain board. So our way of working is different. Maybe practically if you look at our kitchen requirement will be much larger than the European setups. Why? European setups, they have the dry kitchen almost, whereas we have the wet kitchen. Number one. Number two, we have lot many raw materials to be stored in the kitchen. For example, grains, rice, masalas, daling, vegetables, and then we equally require all the appliances what is required in Europe. Microwave, OTG, larger fridge for storage of material, vegetables and fruits. So our requirement of the space is much more than the European kitchen, but if you compare the space available with us, is much smaller. So in a small kitchen, we have to manage so many things. So storage goes much higher. Say for example, wall unit, normal height of a wall unit is about 600 millimeter. We started doing it 700 millimeter. Some people they say you go for 900 millimeter, and some people go up to the ceiling, without realizing the fact that approaching above 7 feet 2100 millimeter is difficult. You require a stair or you require a stool, but still I mean, people say that we require the storage space, so we require the higher storage also. So here the modules are different, construction is different. As I was talking about, the working condition of European kitchen and Indian kitchens are different. Material of construction is different, storage is different, uses are different. Similarly, if you talk about the wardrobe, we started using the concept of walk-in wardrobe where there is no shutter. We have a room where the open wardrobes are there, storage systems are there. There it is possible because the dust is not there. Your stored clothes don't get dirty. Insects are less, cockroaches are less, even the possibility of rat coming into the wardrobe is less. We require here the larger storage area yet closed. Now the room size is smaller. If we are keeping a freestanding wardrobe, 2 feet is the depth of the wardrobe, 2 feet the opening shutter, so you require 4 feet of the area to make the wardrobe functional. If you go to smaller width, then the storage goes squeezed or it is squeezed completely. So we have the constraint here. We have to use the sliding wardrobe here. The moment you go for the sliding wardrobe, there are so many problems. I mean, again, the dust is there because there is always a gap between the sliding shutter, which is about 12 to 15 millimeter. 12 to 15 millimeter is good enough for dust to enter, insect to enter, like for example, cockroaches can go in, even the small rats can go in. So your clothes which you want to store safely are not safe. So we are different than Europe. Our construction, our requirement is different than Europe. Our raw material is different than Europe because our life expectancy of every material is much larger than their expectations. They keep on changing every 5 years, 6 years, whereas we expect a life of any product 10 to 15 years. So we have to think of different material of construction in Indian condition for the modular furniture. See, you can see a wardrobe there which has 4 doors with a glass fascia. But for Indian condition, we require a wardrobe, a drawer which is lockable. So we have to lock it. The moment you lock it, the beauty of the wardrobe is almost lost. I give a fascia which is full and then I give the 3 drawers which are with the glass fascia. So this discontinuity of finish from the front is defeated. Now if you look at this wardrobe and if you compare this wardrobe, it has 2 doors with a solid fascia which can be locked, but here you have 4 doors but none of the doors can be locked, which is the prime requirement of Indian wardrobes. We talk about the another wardrobe. Here it is okay in the sense of we can lock it, but you are reducing the size of the drawer. You are reducing the height of the hanging, whereas had it been 2 doors, the hanging could have been much larger area. So we require a different design altogether. Now the glass shutters, again the shutter is required to be locked. In glass shutter it is difficult to give a strong lock, whereas in the wooden shutter we can give the lock. Normally in Europe they don't lock the wardrobes. In India everything is to be locked because we want to secure that it is not exposed to everybody who is coming to the house. So our thinking is different, our requirement is different, accordingly our designs are different. Coming back to the kitchen, as I was talking about, that Indian kitchen requires much larger area for storage because of their way of food habits. Raw material requirement to be stored in the kitchen is much larger. For example, this is one pantry where you have the 6 baskets, large baskets, and you have the 6 baskets on the shutter. But as I was talking about, that we are used to abuse the things. Why I am saying abuse? I'm sorry, but abuse means we keep on loading the storage space. The moment you store heavier materials here, there is a possibility of shutter getting sagged. The functionality of soft close may be damaged. We have different pantry here where we can store larger material here, and there is no storage on the shutter. Now, different designs of pantries. As I was showing this one, there is another pantry, similar design but with the solid basket is here. We can use this type of pantries, or we have another pantry unit, similar design here. For larger storage, in place of the BPO, we can go for the ladder unit where you have more space to store the material. Now I was talking about the storage up to a higher height. The moment you go for the higher height storage, the practical difficulty is that if you want to take out any material, either you have to use the ladle or you have to use the stools. For young generation it's okay, but if it is a senior lady in the house who has to climb up onto the ladder and use the stool, etc., there is a possibility of disbalancing. She may get damaged physically. So we have requirement which is of different class, different style, different applications. Second aspect I was talking about, the larger area of the storage. If we have the space, we can go for a more area for storage, like where the shelf units have been given, you can store lot many things. But when it comes to the functionality of the kitchen, I was talking about you require the PVC cutlery tray, you require the drawer for the smaller container, you require the drawer for the larger container, you require the deep drawer for bigger utensils, etc., which is not required in Europe. We have 4 drawers, larger drawers here in the kitchen, for example. If I show you, this is one large unit, this is another large unit, this is another large unit, this is another large unit. Now this is only for the storage of utensils, larger utensils to be used in the kitchen for cooking. So our applications are different than the European kitchens. And that's the reason why I said in the beginning that the designing of our kitchens or wardrobes are different than the European kitchens. So we have talked about the kitchen and wardrobes today. In case of any requirement you have, what all we require from you is the layout of your area, whether it's for wardrobe, it's for kitchen, basic requirement, what functional kitchen or wardrobe you require. We'll be able to help with the design, with the estimate, with material of your choice, whatever you need. I'm giving you a small look of furnishing of a studio apartment which has the living area, which have a fully functional kitchen here, which is not very large in size. You have the PVC cutlery tray, you have the grain trolley I was talking about, you have again a grain trolley for large storage, you have a drawer unit, you have a small fridge here. You can put a fridge, you have a drawer unit again, and then again storage with the shelf. And of course you have the wall units with the storage. It is a small sitting area, you can use as a TV area, and this is your bedroom area for a studio apartment for a young couple or a bachelor, which we have kept in mind that bachelors even requires a lot of storage for their wardrobe. So you have a shelf unit storage, you have a dresser cum study, you have the again a storage area which is a hanging, 4 drawers, organizer, and again you have the double hanging area, storage area. So it functions well for a small family. You have a lot of space, and this whole area is including the bathroom is hardly about 340 square feet. So coming back, in case of any requirement, you can always contact us. The details are available on the screen, telephone number, email ID. What all we need from you is the layout of your kitchen or layout of your bedroom, your requirement, what is the functional hardware you require for the wardrobe in the kitchen. We'll be able to provide you the drawings, we'll be able to provide you the estimate and then proceed. We'll continue giving you some more information in our next video. Thank you again for watching DNB Interiors YouTube channel. Thank you.